If I told you this was the second best Final Destination film, would you believe me? And yes, Final Destination 4 is still the worst film in the franchise. But we are so back. So Final Destination Bloodlines is the 6th installment into the Final Destination franchise. The film is directed by Zach Lipovsky and Adam Stein, and it stars Caitlin Santawana, Teo Briones, and the posthumous Tony Todd. Plagued by a violent and reoccurring nightmare, a college student heads home to track down the one person who might be able to break the cycle of death and save her family from the grisly demise that inevitably awaits them all. Now, unless you live under a rock, I'm pretty sure most people have at least heard of the Final Destination movies. The one franchise that has managed to traumatize an entire generation. Coming from someone who has binge watched the entire franchise for the very first time, this franchise is nuts, and Bloodlines is no different. Let's start with the one thing that really makes this franchise stand out the hardest and has made you way more cautious of how you move in everyday life. And that is the insanely violent and gruesome kills, and boy howdy, this movie does not hold back. The kills in this movie are violent, they're super gory, they're unforgiving, and they are super mean-spirited. This film has one of my favorite kills throughout the entire franchise. The scene is so bizarre that it just further reminds me as to why I haven't gotten piercings yet. One thing that I love about this franchise is how people die in the most silliest and most gruesome way possible. These are the type of deaths that you would see Wile E. Coyote go through after failing to catch the Roadrunner. I would argue this is one of the most goriest installments in the franchise, and that's saying a lot. I think my biggest problem with the kills is that it is full-blown CGI. Yes, chapters 2 through 5 all use CGI, some installments more than others, but I don't think the CGI takes away the immersiveness and the gruesomeness of these kills. Granted, I prefer the practicality that was used in the first Final Destination, but am I really going to hate on a bunch of CGI bodies exploding? No. For this installment, I enjoyed some of the characters way more than I thought I would. I thought Caitlin Santawana was great as the lead role. I actually enjoyed the writing of her character. I have not been this connected to a Final Destination protagonist since Wendy Christensen from Chapter 3. The best characters in this whole film, in my opinion, were Bobby and Eric Campbell. I was surprised by the amount of focus they gave on these two supporting characters. They had great chemistry, I loved their brotherly dynamic, and Eric was just funny as hell to me. But the biggest surprise in this entire movie was how this film connected the entire franchise all in here. This film is the reason why this whole franchise even exists. They expand furthermore into the lore. I won't get into specifics, but just know, you can thank her for this franchise. And this film also explored a bit more on Tony Todd's character. Now, Tony Todd's character has always been a staple in this franchise. His character may not have had the biggest exploration, but you cannot deny his presence. In fact, I would argue his character is a fan favorite. And if you liked his character before Bloodlines, you're gonna love him even more now after watching this. The film expands more upon his character and who he is, and once again, it ties everything up into the franchise and it all makes sense. But I won't lie, his cameo in this film, it almost made me cry. And recently I found out that his goodbye speech wasn't scripted, that was all him. This movie just wants me to cry. That whole scene hits hella different now, and what makes it even more crazier is that during his speech, it felt like he wasn't even talking to the characters. It felt like he was talking to us, the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, live your life to the fullest. I never thought in my life that I would get teary-eyed watching a Final Destination movie. R.I.P. the fucking GOAT, man, for real. This film is the longest installment in the franchise, and somehow this film takes full advantage of its runtime. Even the slow bits were pretty insane. Just an hour and 50 minutes of pure chaos and misery. You love to see it. This film had no reason being this intense. I think what makes the intensity even crazier in this film is that this movie does a lot of pump fakes. Every time you think the death is about to happen, the movie pulls a 180 on you like, haha, just kidding. And then boom, death hits you like a bullet train. This film had no reason playing with my emotions. But in the end, guys, Final Destination Bloodlines is a bloody fun time. Awesome kills, hella blood and gore, great intensity, a beautiful goodbye to Tony Todd's character, and overall, it's just hella entertaining. If someone told me this was the best installment in the franchise, I wouldn't disagree. So, plugging Final Destination Bloodlines. Into the rank system, I am placing this one into the pinnacle zone. But yeah, y'all, that is pretty much my review for Final Destination Bloodlines. Let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about the film. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What is your all-time favorite installment in this franchise? Whatever you thought, let me know down in the comment section below. And as always, guys, leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you all in the next one.